Hey everybody, clearing. Okay, so today on the pre-shuffle, I was picking up on this theme of change and not resisting change, flowing with change, feeling comfortable within change, knowing that change is happening to bring us what we would like. So I'm going to do a spine of fire reading for masculines and feminines and see the connection spots. So let's do feminines on the left. Thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information coming through for the beautiful collective that joins me here. What can we see for the divine feminines and divine masculines on this journey of alignment, of true love? What are the changes affecting everybody, and how is this affecting the connections at this time? What do my viewers need to see about their process? What messages can I bring through to help with emotional navigation, regulation, processing, to include our emotions in our waking reality, to be connected with our, I just heard the emotions are the bridge between the head and the heart. That's a lovely way of putting it. And some of the instructions that we can get or focus on each of these chakra levels. Okay, crown chakra, what do we need to know at this time? Things are getting through. So this is a card of blockage, but also finding our own heart-centered truth. So it's like the veil is thin for each counterpart right now to drop in to their heart and to cross-reference the higher guidance coming in. It feels like epiphanies. It feels like also much more grounded than sort of a manic sort of version of epiphany. Sometimes we get this manic feeling of, oh, that's so big and it's so urgent, I have to do this right now. This is a much more subtle, not a trickle of information, but it's kind of hidden in plain sight sort of awarenesses that are so much a part of us, we don't really understand that we're already those things. So when we're talking about change, it kind of feels to me that we've come through growth spurts, and now our material realm is having to reconfigure to support the energetic growth that we've asked for or been going through. And now it's like that new manifestation is finding its way through the cracks. It's like we're starting to see the evidence of it where we thought maybe we were further from it still. It's more immediate than we expected, but it's not like surprisingly so. Okay, let's keep going. What is the emotion? Envy. I'm the same as everybody, but with different challenges. So I guess we're catching stride with these periods of challenge that bring us what we want. The way that we find peace in rising to the challenges. We got the storm warning card the other day. So there's this feeling of being grateful for the challenges we have, because there are so many challenges that we could have, but we each get the ones that are specifically designed for our own soul's journey. What is the advice here? Synergy. The frequency of synergy supports our allowance and acceptance of the not so obvious, never seen before combinations and unions that result in new ways of functioning, working, thinking, relating, loving, and being. It reminds us to embrace the unfamiliar so that new yet exciting co-creations can give birth to a new reality. Right, so we're catching stride with navigating change in a positive way rather than a fearful way. And a lot of the changes that are being brought out are talking about lessons that are no longer a fit for each of us, and being really grateful that we've come through the things that we've needed to in order to get into this unfamiliar, exciting new reality. We've had to sort of admit to ourselves that we don't have to bring everything into victory. Karmic situations, they can be teachers for a time, but we don't need to have to bring success to those situations. We can just let them go. And this gives room for the things that we would rather experience. So how are the feminines with this right now? Okay, Emperor in the reverse and Seven of Swords. So the feminines are putting down control and just sort of, it could be a nocturnal energy here. With the Seven of Swords, I get the feeling of traveling by the cover of darkness, and not in a shady, sneaky way, but in a way that doesn't have to figure it out, doesn't have to have a lot of baggage, can move lightly and not disclose a lot of the feminine's next steps or process. So this looks like the feminines are letting go of things that have no business coming forward with them, and really not making anything extra their business. I feel like the feminines here are dropping off the radar of karmic situations and no longer needing to figure those out or lean into those things that haven't been a fit. Really nice for the feminines. What can we see for the masculines? Coming out of hermit mode in the name of love. So this can be a love offer. So masculines, how does this fit in? Yeah, there is this synergy being brought in. So masculines are feeling the feminines releasing karma, and they're wanting to come out of hermit mode, not just to shoot their shot, but to, the coast is clear, and it's not in a competitive way. It's literally I'm seeing an energetic atmosphere that was around the feminines that acted as a magnetic deterrent for the masculines. So nothing they could put their finger on, but it's like that atmosphere is collapsing, that the feminines had sort of a safety bubble to process karma. It feels like the masculines can now come hither, come closer in a more productive way than they could have before. So they're getting, masculines, you must be getting this knowing that I just heard it's now or never, or the time is right to align in some way. And I do see a pretty big love offer, and the ancestors might be backing this. Aho. So masculines, if you've been hearing or feeling guided by ancestors right now, if you've got specific ancestors that you've wondered are involved in the alignment you have with your counterpart, this is a confirmation that you're not wrong in thinking that there have been signs, synchronicities, connection with some particular ancestor, and the prospects in love here is what I heard. What can we see for the third eye chakra? Ooh, sleeplessness and anxiety here. So there's some kind of burning the candle at both ends. This can be that storm warning that's happening, that's making that's accelerating this change that's swirling around the connections at this time as they're coming more into the physical. This is the to-do list. I'm feeling these are all the things that need to be addressed that haven't found material solution yet. And so every once in a while we do get a bottleneck of things we have to consider and sort that is our personal accountability. So I'm not getting that this is going to be overwhelming forever. It just feels like there's a bunch of things that with an intersection and only so much time in the day. So make sure you're practicing self-care is what I'm hearing, and able to flow at optimum. And I mean, those basic self-care things are going easy on yourself, having forgiveness, eating properly, exercise, fresh air, connection with nature, rest, a little bit of pampering, but also doing your due diligence with what you know you need to take care of. If you know what those things are, not putting off till tomorrow what you can do today. What is the emotion connected? Success. I know there is no greater goal than to love. So great love is worth doing all of the things that you're guided to do to make room for that. What is the advice? Union, making room for union, success. So whatever this change is right now, it's directly relating to union, and the masculines are feeling like it's more appropriate to start coming into these connections at this time. This says, union activates our ability to unite our outer and inner aspects towards a state of wholeness. So yeah, it's not just theory anymore. Things are coming into the physical, and as we advocate for ourselves to bring our lives into the impeccable reflection of our inner truth, guess what? If your heart loves someone, it's very likely that that truth will also come in as you let go of all of the things that are not suited. And at very least, you'll make room for the love that is meant to come in if your specific person isn't going to be that. Now, don't get triggered by that. You'll know it if that feels like peace to you. It's your message. If that doesn't feel like a glimmer of peace, then don't take that and don't be triggered. No reading should be triggering you. What should the feminines know about success and pushing through this final clearing of karma to get into more receptivity for what is for them? 1111 I just saw. Woo, Queen of Wands and King of Wands, and in a yin-yang tumble. That's when I get one card in the upright, one in the inverse. So right now, feminines, you're having to take more of your action with the masculine here and allow through this yin receptivity for you to step into wearing the pants for your own life to clear up your karma, to really make healthy boundaries, to advocate for yourself. This does not mean destruction. In this card, we're backed by strength and inspiration, integrity, compassion. So there is a motion here, feminines, where you're still having to, I heard, pull up your big feminine pants and clear what you need to right now for what you're asking for. And success is on the way, but you have to position yourself in readiness for what you're asking for. If it's just wishful thinking, that won't get you anywhere. You have to take the actions you're guided to right now to make the changes in your physical world, to continue being diligent to get in position for these unions, for your abundance, for your higher timelines. It is up to you to do that. You're not going to be rescued. So even though the masculines are coming in, that's for feminines who are already taking personal accountability and don't actually need to be rescued, but that are doing these things to align to get to the good part with your particular masculine. You still have to keep doing what you need to, that is your business, that's actually none of their karmic business. You have to still keep going through this to bring in your own readiness for success and true love. What are the masculines? Oh, heck yeah. Temperance and Twin Flames, Two of Wands. So masculines, you're in a really steady, fast, sturdy, whole healing here. And you're really knowing that the canopy of this love that's protecting the two of you. So your healing is bringing in the surety, the confidence, the timing that is giving you the knowing on a deep level. I'm hearing the fear of rejection is being edited out of your consciousness here because of your healing. So the things that you used to be afraid of, imposter syndrome, or not being able to give your feminine what they need or desire or deserve, that's all going away because you're seeing how freaking aligned your connection really is. And this confirmation of the goodness and the compatibility, the goodness of each other for these greater experiences, these extraordinary experiences of life and love. Beautiful. What can we see for the throat chakra? King of Wands here. So masculines have got this posture of timing and what to say and how to do this, but this is the action taking. See, feminines, as you take action, your masculine comes in with action. So many of my viewers are the feminines, and no matter if you're masculine or feminine, you are manifesting your reality. So this aspect that is being activated in our own right is within all of us. So take whichever resonates most for you at this time. We do balance out the masculine and feminine, and sometimes we resonate with the masculine, sometimes with the feminine. I'm going to leave that up for you, because You know, it gets a little bit like wobbly goo, but this is saying that the masculine is really being discerning, discriminating in what to take action with and when. It's becoming more of a conscious awareness. Selective, what is the emotion? Relationships. I'm attracted to those people who serve my higher good. So feminines, I do see the feminines letting go of needing to hang on to past karmic situations that no longer serve your higher good, and being guilt-free about letting that go. A classic empath narcissist type of dynamics are coming to mind, and I don't want to overly use that terminology, so I don't go there because I'm not trained in that, but that's sort of what I'm feeling. But also masculines are getting this pull like never before because they're coming into healing and wholeness. And I'm hearing another message. This is what is giving the masculines the go-ahead, even regarding the societal norms that just aren't a factor in these connections. These are unusual, never before seen combinations and unions. So this is validating for the masculines how good these connections are for both of you, and that they are not typical. What do we need to see here? Emergence. Yes, there is a coming forward of the masculines here towards these relationships because they're sacred, they're honoring, they're on the soul level, and they transcend the earthly concerns or the expected norms. The frequency of emergence invites us to approach our reality with a childlike, I'm just going to send love to whatever's going on there. The frequency of emergence invites us to approach our reality with a childlike attitude of innocence and wonderment, and to watch and celebrate the beauty that unfolds from that place. So this is beginner's eyes. Masculines don't have to have this all figured out. Feminines don't have to have this all figured out, but it can just flow in a different way when we're focused on the goodness instead of the testing, the trials, the tribulations, you know, trust building. There's been a confirmation phase, a negotiation phase, a getting to know each other phase, the character. So whatever you've been navigating in your connection, it has been exposing your character to each other over this last cycle, and we're emerging into a new cycle where there's more of a focus on the shared goodness that the two of you resonate in. So there's more of an affinity here. So whether your person is coming forward in a romantic sense just yet or not, I do feel for many there is going to be an increase of passion here that really does drop the guard and celebrate the true connection each has. But even if this is just a deepening of the friendship, there's still this affinity coming in. What are the feminines seeing here? Death and miracle. Okay, Page of Cups, miracles I was going to say, but this is when my pigs fly card, and then death, the transformation. So feminine, stay with this because you are purifying and really coming into the ownership of your righteousness. Yes, hear that again, your righteousness. This is where you are falling in love with the goodness in you, the righteousness. We resist that so much, thinking we're not cool enough, we're not popular enough, we're not doing something in an attractive enough way. And we judge ourselves for just, being sweet and modest or wholesome or righteous. There's a changeover here. Ironically, eternal, grounded, love-filled, deepening energies need that purity involved in order to kick off. Actually, for you to get what you actually want in true love, you have to be receptive to that by being that energy, by being in alignment with it. And that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing with this clearing of karma, with dropping the guard and making the changes and flowing with it, feminines, that you're actively bringing in miracles. And that big miracle here is the emergence of the energy to be in, to actually magnetize a pure, sweet, loving, lifelong relationship. What are the masculines getting? Oh, yes. So Nine of Cups, they're deeply heart wishing for this love. So feminines, as you strike that chord of pure resonance, your masculine is picking up on that, and they are so hopeful and drawn beyond hope. They are seeing the proof of your sweetness emerging, and that's drawing them into you. So again, this is the energetic failsafe that dispels abuse and imbalanced relationships. When you are in this purity, you don't settle, you don't cling to, you don't crave or lust after things that can't meet you in that level of sweetness. You're willing to wait, and your masculine is seeing that that is the trustworthy energy in you that warrants them going all in. Even if they've sensed that, or if they've been drawn to you before, it was too risky. The energy was volatile, I'm hearing. So there is going to be some kind of a confirmation that the two of you just think each other is the sweetest ever, is what I'm hearing. Like, this is where true romance can happen, and it can be received the way it's intended, without skepticism or the fear of an ulterior motive or an agenda pushing thing happening. This is where the masculines can actually come in and chivalry, open the door, put the jacket across the mud puddle. There's some good old-fashioned romance budding here, everybody. That's incredible. What can we see on the heart space? Clearing through the confusion. I heard Spiritual Infusion 1111. Love, shout out to your channel, that calling the Seven of Cups the seven deadly sins. So this is literally the virtue coming through in the connections on the heart space. I just said this purity coming in, that is the sweetness, the good. I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good, and that's love. And the seven deadly sins are being elevated up out of, and this purity is magnetizing real love. Real love. Honesty. I can't always expect truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. Exactly. We have to be our own moral compass. We are not meant to be the moral compass of anyone we're associated with. It's only up to us. When we're in that bell tone purity, we can sense whether someone's meeting us on that level or not. That's taking back the empowerment instead of the wishful thinking, hoping that they will be that for us. We have to be it for ourselves, and then we can feel it when it's coming to us. What's the advice? Communication. Okay, so this is going to be bringing in safe communication. Sending more love to the sirens. Communication supports our ability to exchange information in many different forms. It reminds us to run every piece of information, both incoming and outgoing, through our heart, the center of our truth, to stay in the flow of source and balanced exchange. Exactly. When we've cleared, the seven deadly sins, we're coming into purity, righteousness, that honesty. That's the truly psychic, intuitive, whether or not something can meet us in that purity. When you've become that baseline, it's so plain to see what can actually come into your inner circle, because you know that it's either valid or not, trustworthy or not, unconditional love or not, safe or not. It's up to you, viewer, whether that can come in or not. And you get those cues through the interaction with other, but only you know if it feels that way or not. So this is beautiful. This is where there can be that think tank brainstorming exponential manifestation together, is because we've come into the purity. Now anything we generate from that space is abundant. What can we see for the feminines? Okay, humility and friendship. So I'm hearing networking. There are three feminines on this card. So there's something about I'm hearing tribal with non-competitive feminine networking. There's a humbling. So while we have this dropping of the lower vibrational stuff, divine feminines, you're going to be getting other feminine energies coming in the mix, maybe new friends, maybe old acquaintances coming in new energy. That's more of a sisterhood, I'm hearing. Take gender and everything as these messages resonate, but This is more of a safety coming in where there's no competition and backstabbing. There are other feminines that have done the work that are going to be in honoring friendships and affiliations here. And so even I'm seeing all of the competition and herd mentality survival things that have competitive energies with jealousy and vying for competing over certain masculines and things. There's an energy of that games playing and backstabbing with feminines falling away and energy just being energetic. So there's a protection that's coming in for divine feminines, and there are more divine feminines aligning with each other in trustworthy friendships. So feminines, you might be seeing that kind of emotion emerging in your life where you're not going to have to worry about the agendas of those who are close to you with your masculine, or with your masculine and other feminine energies. So there's something about feminines not getting ahead of yourself. If your counterpart is still flirting with other feminines or hasn't neutralized the sexual tension, don't get yourself amped up to come into union with someone like that you feel that with. You might be generating it, they might actually be in that energy still. That's not aligned, that's not divine. So the competition gets removed when there's a pure true alignment. There is no competition, and so there's safety coming in. And you're going to know with these other feminine energies around you, DFs, what feels on and what feels off. And so don't force it, but pay attention to an increase of safety coming in that way. But also there will be some being worked out still in the mix. What can we see for the masculines here? So I'm getting also that there might be communication with your masculine, because we're in the shared space, about what resonates and doesn't, what serves on the deepest level and what doesn't, what you're here for and not. So each of the feminines, your intuition will be on point right now regarding who is in alignment around you and who isn't quite there yet. You don't have to put yourself into any situations with the not quite there or very obvious energies that are misaligned. You don't have to grin and bear it. You can just be honest with yourself and stay true to what feels right and be discerning with the decisions you need to make one way or the other right now. It doesn't have to be a karmic blowout. It can just simply be you drop into your feminine and take it or leave it. Masculines, we've got progress and bravery. Amazing. So masculines, you're also learning to be discerning here and now to move as a trailblazer out into these connections. So I'm getting again the coming forward to your feminine is going to be a definitive motion. As you and your feminine come closer into physical proximity and public awareness of your connection emerges more so. There's a coming forward in the energy. It's going to be brave because there may be some that are confused, didn't see it coming, had ulterior motives. You're going to have to be brave to come forward. And you're going to have to be in your empowerment where you're following your inner truth towards your union, towards your feminine, and knowing that you're going to be able to handle things drama-free with anybody that has something to say about it or not. So I do feel masculines, you're going to be having to break the news to other feminine energies that might have been vying or playing the long game or in your orbit. As you come forward to your feminine, you're going to have to be setting the record straight. Your feminine is also not going to be perpetuating competition templates. So yeah, I'm really seeing that this righteousness is removing the wheat or the chaff from the wheat. It's kind of this sorting right now. So masculines and feminines, specifically, I'm getting this message of feminine energies that have been potential suitors for the masculines. This can go both ways, but I'm heavily getting that this is an atmosphere of the feminine energies being sorted right now from the connections. So masculines, you might have been keeping feminine friends around that you knew were maybe into you, but you haven't specifically, they didn't know that you had your feminine on the radar, so they were sort of loitering in the energy. This is going to be brave. You're going to have to let go of that ego boost or that security blanket of having options, or, you know, not wanting to hurt anybody's feelings. It's going to have to come to light that you are aligning with your feminine, and these other individuals, they'll have to carry the karma of what they choose to do about that truth while this plays out. So yeah, very interesting. There's going to be things percolating in the energy where this theme of potential other feminines, it's going to be coming to light that who the masculine is choosing here. Boo! Yes, cool. And this is on the heart space. That's incredible. Okay, empowerment. Wow, we got two. So regarding the changes, the process that we're in here, we've got Judgment and the Tower. So both are having their eyes opened right now to seeing things that look like tower moments as actually the revelation of what we've been asking for. This is where we part the Dead Sea. This is where, like, excuse me, coming through. This is what it is. This is the reality that's emerging. We're ushering in a new reality that's been growing behind the scenes. Wow, I'm really getting like, I'm feeling the energy rise here. So it is happening. There is a momentum building here where things are going to be coming to light, and it's rocking the karmic world in its wake around the divine counterparts right now, because it's like a volcanic thing. It's pushing up from underneath and it's coming to light is what I'm seeing here. So as we're transmuting this, as we're in the ownership of it, as we are sure within ourselves, it is now reaching that critical threshold where it has to come into the physical, y'all. What can we see for the emotion? Service. I feel good when I can help others. Okay, so this is bringing us forward into increased service. There comes a time when we no longer can or need to do it on our own. Growth demands that eventually we outgrow our solo service and these imaginal connections that are coming in, where the two are coalescing now for a greater purpose. That's why these abundance templates are unlocking. That's why the unions are deepening. That's why this purity is coming to the forefront, because of contribution and service. Just by being righteous in actual relationships and having worked through all of those seven deadly sins regarding love and relationship, that is bringing this potent clarity in to the work that the counterparts will do in the world, where they are impervious to the external energies, and they become a light in the world as an example. So they're, as we come into unions and connections, it becomes a gift as a demonstration of what true connection looks like, because the love between the two will be undeniable. And that actually now, I started channeling when I first got out on YouTube that these connections can't come in while they are still going to garner envy, jealousy, competition, and that energy where it would trigger people. Now the ascension on the planet is allowing for these true connections to actually be supportive to those around them as testaments of what it can look like. So that means a lot of the collective of humanity is getting to a place where their eyes are opening and desiring more so, especially around these sacred unions, the true connection. We're coming out of cultural delusion that does this survival business arrangement or scaffolding in connections that's not about the true soul connection. So these connections are now going to minister or influence or speak to those around them. And that means that our communities are evolving enough to have eyes to see and genuinely be able to discern when two people are authentically in love. And this can teach community, but it can also be a conduit for incredible innovation and blessing. Beautiful. So these connections have always been anchored in service. I've also channeled for years that the masculines won't become monogamously focused on the feminine until they have done enough work to genuinely desire to contribute and help humanity. And in recent months, we've started to see these beginnings of shared mission coming in, where regardless of the romantic connection, the feminines and masculines have had to tag team certain scenarios in their reality where they've both been involved, but not necessarily through a romantic. The stage was set because of affiliation with each other. There have been things that energetically or in the material realm, the counterparts have been supportive of and beneficial into community in some regard. That's going to be different for each. That can be tangible or in intangible ways. But over this last period of time, there has been a shared momentum like that. What is the advice? Consciousness. The frequency of consciousness supports our ability to focus our attention on all the multidimensional aspects that show up so we can include them in our reality. Right. So counterparts are seeing the truth of the tower moments and stepping into service. So when we can surf the changes in our tower moments, we can show others and impart that way of navigating that doesn't pit lovers against each other or relationships. You know, sometimes things are so stressful that relationships break apart. That's because there isn't a foundation. So the foundation that's been laid in these dynamics is strong enough to stand the test of time, but to weather any storm. And this secret of consciousness, the proper alignment, the purity, the true intentions, the goodness, is what these counterparts, these connections are going to be imparting and sharing into the world. How extraordinarily beautiful. What do the feminines need to know about this empowerment coming in? King of Swords and immediate action. So there are some immediate legal matters, financial matters, decisions that the feminines are facing right now, because now they have that bell tone of righteousness and can actually sort what is what. So feminines, yes, now is a good time to start really putting those boundaries with karma, with up-leveling out of things that no longer serve, so that your life is, and you are selective and only available to the things that do, that you're not turned on by or confused by or clinging to anything any longer in any shape or form that is not a fit for you energetically. What is the masculine's message? Ending burden and letting go of emotional coddling. So masculines, again, that message of potential suitors around you that you've not wanted to hurt their feelings, but you haven't chosen. So you're going to have to set the record straight and end this sort of ambiguous clinging in the energy. There are female or feminine energies waiting in the wings for you, masculines, and that's actually energetically causing more grief than it's worth at this point. There are attachments to other feminines, like hangover energies. This can be exes, this can be crushes, this can be anybody that you've allowed in your inbox that is not your truth. You're going to have to release that because it's becoming more burdensome to keep all of those energies in there just because you haven't felt emotionally capable of communicating clearly or letting someone down easy. You've wanted to be compassionate. You're stringing people along. You're leading people along that are not your choice, masculines. And now that kindness is going to free you from the burden of having to be God's gift to all feminines. Woo! Heck yeah. So feminines, you might be making cuts with masculine energies from your past. in major or minor ways as well. This is really being conscious of, is it nice or is it kind? The kindness coming in. Wow, what is the sacral chakra? So this empowerment means nothing. I'm going back to that. True empowerment means you're not cutting corners or settling or having anything that is not impeccably clear energy in your inner circle, masculines and feminines here. And that is paving the way for true demonstration of purity and service into the world. The greatest service these connections can be are just being beacons for purity. Woo! My nose is itching. It's like, woo! The guides are like, on the nose. What is the sacral chakra bringing in? Emperor in the reverse. So this means dropping the guard and stopping trying to control the passion here. The coast is clear, the safety. This is where the unadulterated passion can start to come in without the rules, regulations, conditions. When there's nothing left to hide, nothing left to cling to, nothing left to, have a guilty conscience about, nobody waiting in the wings, no misleading alliances. Whew. There's nothing left to do but just come into each other and these unions on the sacral. Literally make love. I'm literally getting the imagery of fluid bonding between counterparts and very much that sacred consummation. Ooh, that's the first time that message has come in so much in my channelings. Happiness. I'm aware that being happy means I'm on the right path. So, prematurely, if these connections come in, it's not authentic. True happiness means only coming into these unions and sexually consummating when it's actually appropriate to do so. Otherwise, it's fake news. It's like promoting something that doesn't have any availability yet. And that doesn't cause lasting happiness. So this is absolutely incredible. What can we see for, compassion? Another very green, like there's healing coming in. There's so much healing coming in with being able to be coherent in these connections and completely transparent about the connections into community because they are so steadfast and warranted, justified. Compassion supports our ability to stand by others without judgment and to be the divine mediator between heaven and earth. So standing by our counterpart without judgment and in community together without judgment, because the love is the bell tone here. And be the mediator between heaven and earth. So beacons of what love in connection and sacred connection really is into the world. Be the mediator between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, so that unconditional love can flow from source through our heart into the world. There is something about counterparts really sinking into the safety that we've found each other and that we are each other's true match, and then broadcasting that message that everyone else can find that too, that there doesn't need to be misaligned relationships causing all these 7 deadly sins to be cycled in chain reactions. And I'm seeing domino effect and hall of cards and all of this stuff. Like, it's flimsy when we think we can, settle for somebody that doesn't actually align, and then we're trying to clamor to find it either secretly or in open connections with all others. We can be on our own and wait it out for this beautiful perfected alignment and then demonstrate what that is like into community. What are the feminines getting here? 10 of Cups and 7 of Wands. So inner bravery, keep going for gold, feminines. Keep knowing what that ultimate sits well with your soul kind of frequency is, and stay the course for that in your life. You're not waiting for a specific person. You're inviting alignment in the sense that it can strike this harmonic chord in you. It can be for the person you're watching this for or someone else, but it's that energy that you're wanting. And if you truly do see that frequency available to you in the connection with the specific person you're watching this for, amazing. Keep going. What can we see for the masculines here? Oh, manifestation in the Empress. So masculines, you're not fearing that you have to have it all figured out and you like call all the shots here. It's an alignment thing. It's not through ego. It's not through manipulation. It's not through what you need to do or not do. You just have to follow your heart when you genuinely are feeling drawn to your Empress. And so this is also an emerging duo here, an emerging energy where you're gonna know, you're feeling it now, that you're seeing this availability of true love. Like masculines, you've always known what you've really wanted, but you've also had so many experiences where it just fell short. And now you're starting to see this divine feminine highlight to you and the promise of true, lasting, stable, solid, grounded love and abundance coming in hand with these unions. So you're seeing your momentum with finances, with your abundance coming in financially in the material realm. And that goes hand in hand also with the eyes being open to who your true counterpart is. And even though you may have known who they were, the timing for that to come in. So this is on the sacral chakra. So you can't make it up. And this is definitely a new level of sensual draw, because it really is saying you're going to be deepening in intimacy, but that's going to generate this momentum to create and to be exponentially abundant. And that sensual connection that you are going to connect in is going to be this momentum generating epicenter within your sacred connection that's going to allow you both to innovate and bring through these wild card ideas and this beacon of pure love that is truly unadulterated here. It's coming. You've had to go through a period of development here, masculines, where you've purified and you've set a stable foundation in the material realm, an anchor for this all in, no going back union consummation here. So good on you, masculines, for holding out until all of the ducks are in a row here. What can we see on the root chakra? Seven of Swords. So both counterparts are seeing this new reality emerging consciously into the physical, cannot help but witness the changes that are occurring and that are ripe in the energy to release and invite in the material realm. What is the emotion? Imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. So anything that doesn't foster the ability for the two to create and generate abundance and generate actual love is under fire, under question right now. What is the advice? Divine Masculine. Divine Masculine supports our strong, focused, active side, allowing it to express itself while helping us bring our dreams and ideas into form with kindness and wisdom. So masculine energy is being activated for the feminines to clear out karma. Masculines, you're taking action to clear out feminine energies that are not your divine feminine. But this is to make room for bringing our dreams, creating our dreams, manifesting our dreams with kindness and wisdom. So again, that message of, is it nice or is it kind? Niceties are social graces that, are easy agreements, but they don't necessarily offer kindness. When we're nice to somebody, I actually heard somebody saying, watch out for nice guys, nice feminines too. There's a self-preserving fragility to niceness that's fickle. And so it's not dependable. So we have to be kind by being transparent with what our true intentions are. In these connections, the masculines, you've held back and not really disclosed how much you actually love your feminines. And it might be nice not to, regarding the feminines, to lead them on, but kindness means you're transparent with how you feel, that you just don't feel it's the right time, or that you've got certain things that you're doing. Your true feminine will honor that and respect that. So that may also be something coming into the connections where masculines, you're not so worried you're going to get your head bit off if you say, I love you, I don't have all the answers yet for our connection. That can be something that's beginning to be acknowledged here through action and deed in larger social circles, in not so many words to others that aren't coming forward maybe. But there seems to be a release of outer orbit energies and a focus in and a streamlining in to grounding this between the two. So I'm feeling communication coming in that has to do with the intimate connection between the masculines and feminines here, in the name of being able to unleash creativity out into the world, but also in generating love between the two. When there aren't these distractions and we've gotten to a place of safety where we do know beyond a shadow of a doubt that this person is being shown to us and we feel it in our heart and it's mutual. And that none of the other competitors or other options can hold a candle to what we see in each other here. So this is becoming more revealed to the counterparts. How are the feminines experiencing this? Coming back around and beginner's eyes. So feminines, you're having these things shown to you bit by bit that are confirming what you need to move away from and what you truly want. But you're in an open state of receptivity to where it's going to come, how it's going to come, the divine timing, the mutuality of it. But your focus is on the right energy now. You're on the target. I'm seeing this person's hand here pointing at a target. And laser focus on what that return energy can be here. What are the masculines? Judgment, oh wow, and justice. So there is something the masculines are waiting to see. This can be divorces for you feminines. This can be like certain things on the radar that the masculines haven't felt were justified yet. You're gonna start seeing these things come to light. So things that you have known about in your connection that have caused you to be cautious or know that you couldn't go all in for whatever reason, because once we go all in, there's no going back. And so any legal matters or things that you've known on the radar, masculines, you're going to see that those things are indeed being released in your life and in your feminine's life. And the Emperor here. So we got the Empress and the Emperor, justice and revelation. So masculines, yes, there is movement here. And I guess this message is just coming forward at this time to direct the focus towards generating this love-based creativity out into the world, and what that feels like when there isn't all the crap and all the baggage and all the convoluted frazzle energy, all the options, those 7 deadly sins, but all of the tethers to things that are incoherent, leakages of energy, spreading ourselves too thin. This is a act of wholeness and soul retrieval and coming into our stability. I'm seeing energetic vibration, like a hologram. When it's blipping in and out of stable, it's like transparent and then looks more material. These are materializing into our wholeness, our embodiment, our God selves. Ooh, okay. One more. Sounds. Where are these sounds coming from? Oh, okay, what can we see for the collective that joins me here? What can we see? Seal of evolutionary colors. So we've been sealed with this evolution. We're nailing it. We are getting this pure bell tone frequency of righteousness coming in. Progressive awareness, multi-directional change. So I started this reading with the change that we've been manifesting, that we're now seeing emerging in ways particularly that we may not have had eyes to see before we were at this stage of awareness. And perspective, ideals, and beliefs. Yes, righteousness causes us to have different priorities. And that's what I'm seeing here. Priorities are shifting to service, contribution, love, righteousness, and away from immaturity and underdeveloped navigation in life. Okay, everybody, many blessings. I wish you all the very best. I may not be posting too much in the next while. I have opened new sessions, so grab those through the link in the description below, and I would love to work with you. Many blessings. Bye for now.